Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2014 NFL NFC Divisional Playoff preview between the San Francisco 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with San Francisco. The San Francisco 49ers will have to be able to punch the football in the end zone the second time around versus the Carolina Panthers. And while I'm not a big fan of moving your offensive linemen on the goal line, I'm a big fan of putting other people in motion to get desired results. I'm going to show you how they can do so on the goal line. You see, we have double tight end sets. We have an auxiliary player, which could also be a tight end. So you have three tight ends in the game. We're not going to draw up the safeties or the corners or the extra receiver on the side, but I'm going to show you how they can get their power play going by whamming this defensive end right here. So what we're going to do, kick out block on the outside linebacker, kick out block on this backer, and this big on big bob protection. So that's body on body. But we're going to combo block this defensive tackle here with the guard in the center, and we're going to have the center work up to the next threat, whether it could be a safety or a corner. He's going to block that next threat to this play right here. So we're going to have, again, bob protection. Now we're going to have the play side tackle work up and get this Mike backer blocked. And why? Because we're putting the tight end in motion, and once he gets to the inside leg of the guard, you want to snap the football because he's working up and whamming that defensive end right here. Kaepernick reverses out, hands the ball off to the tailback, hopefully getting in the end zone. So like I said, you don't have to move your offensive linemen. You can move auxiliary players, and I think that's how they could have success the second time around in the red zone on the goal line versus Carolina. The San Francisco 49ers are similar in what they do in the running game as far as the power play is concerned. So you look at what Carolina has to do this time around versus San Francisco, stop the power. And I'm show you how they can play great team defense to get it done. So it's simple. It's all about gap discipline. It's all about playing to your strengths. And they do have excellent linebackers. So I'm show you how they can stop the power play, which is coming strong side. First of all, the backside defensive end has to squeeze and close that C gap. He's playing the cutback, but he can't come take that wide angle and invite the cutback here. So as he's squeezing down, hugging it tight to that C gap, he's trying to force everything to keep going play side, because he also has the help of the free safety being the scrape defender and playing for the cutback. So that's your weak side defense. Now you're going to see a combo block here, and his job, this defensive tackle's job, is to take this inside shoulder of the center and push it. Try to turn his body to generate that penetration to where it can bottle up this play in the backfield. The front side defensive tackle's job is to get his arm hooked by this guard, and that way he keep his outside arm free and attack this gap here. Because what we're doing with the strong side A gap, the linebacker's job is to shoot this gap to try to blow up the fullback right here, force him to change track and take out the first threat, which would be this inside linebacker. Because we also have the strong side backer shooting the C gap as well. He's playing that gap right there, trying to attack it, and we have the defensive end playing the same technique as his defensive tackle strong side, trying to get this inside arm hook so he can keep his outside arm free. He can set the edge because he also has the help of the alley defender, the strong safety, that could eventually make the play in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage. So again, and also we have the weak side backer replacing where this Mike backer just left, and he's trying to play that he's scraping over top because he can also make the play as well. So again, it's about team defense. It's about sealing the edge on both ends. Those defensive tackles trying to turn shoulders of interior offensive linemen, and your scrape defenders and your help defenders covering your assets, so to speak, on the outside. So I think that's how they can play team defense versus the run, getting these guys off the field, putting them in more passing situations, and ultimately trying to play winning defense versus San Francisco. In order to stop the Carolina Panthers, you first have to stop the running game. And I'm going to show you how the San Francisco 49ers can play great run defense on third and short. This is one play the Carolina Panthers love to run. They love to run strong side power. And while you can just totally disregard the formation, I'm going to show you how they can get in position to stop the run. And what we have here is a double A gap blitz with double A gap pressure, with the fake strong safety blitz. So could influence Cam Newton to change the play, but you also get that strong safety closer to the line of scrimmage. So as the cadence starts to wind down, you're going to see him walk, and at the snap of the ball, he's going to hold tight because he has the first back to his threat. So if this guy releases on a pass play, it's his job to cover him. So that's who he's spying. He's spying the near back, but he's not blitzing. So that's where the illusion comes. But what we're going to do, we're crashing everybody inside. We're going to have the nose tackle take the strong side A gap because we're looping the linebacker around here in the weak side A gap. We're going to bring the other inside linebacker around to spy the near back to his side. So he's not blitzing because, again, we're crashing inside, bringing that outside linebacker on the pressure. So we're getting guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys coming And as we're sending this linebacker inside, the strong safety walks over, and now he's manned up on the tight end, and we're manned up on the outside, playing inside position, trying to force these guys down the sideline where you have that extra defender trying to push those guys out of bounds. But again, you have 6 guys getting pressure, 2 guys playing the alley in the strong safety, and the inside linebacker loop into the C gap. So I think that's how they can be in position to stop the run. And if they can get these guys off the field on 3rd and short, or just in 3rd down, off the field on 3rd down in general, they can have a lot of success the second time around versus Carolina. The Carolina Panthers can have success throwing the football versus the San Francisco 49ers with Cam Newton utilizing his pre-snap reads to effectiveness. I'm going to show you how he can just look at the alignment of the guys in this formation of the linebackers and make a decision. So what we're going to do here, we're going to spread the field. We're going to put Ted Ginn with a lot of speed right here, hugging the line of scrimmage, almost in a wingback type of position. We have the running back in the backfield. And what we're doing, we're reading the alignment of the outside backer, and we're reading how the safety and the backer to the strong side of the formation is aligned as well. So if we see we have an area right here that's vacated by the safety, he's off there playing cover 2 or showing 2 deep, and his linebacker is above, we're going to put the tight end right here. If he's tight to the line of scrimmage showing man coverage, then that gives us 2 options, because what we're doing with these 2 receivers, we're running dual posts. So we're trying to take those guys out of the play and play on the 2 outside linebackers, because the safeties are going to be out of the play. We're running backside posts as well too. So we got 3 posts going, taking the safeties and the cornerbacks out. So what Cam Newton has to see, again, if this is man coverage, which means in my eyes this could be a blocked player right here by the tight end. So you want to swing out Ted Ginn, dump him the football quickly, allow him to make one miss and utilize his speed. Or if this guy is tight to the line of scrimmage here, you're swinging the back out as well. So you're running a bubble screen and a swing on the same play. And if those are actually covered, you still have a 2-on-1 go with the corner and the safety and those dual posts on this side. But what Cam Newton has to read is the alignment of the backers and the safety. If he sees off coverage, then he has to go to the swing. If he sees tight man, go to the swing here. Go to the bubble screen here, and then ignore the swing over here. So again, reading the alignment allows you the opportunity to have 2 plays in one, because he can hit the bubble screen, the swing, or take your time deep down the field to find those dual posts. So I think, again, pre-snap reads will be key the second time around, because remember, it's not about matchups anymore, it's about adjustments. If they can adjust pre-snap, they could have the same type of success versus San Francisco.
The X factor in this ball game for San Francisco will be their offensive line in the running game. They have to do a better job this time around versus Carolina. Being able to blow these guys off the line of scrimmage and get to the second level only makes life easier for not only Frank Gore, but also for guys like Kendall Hunter and LaMichael James or whomever is going to get carries. They have to be able to own the line of scrimmage in order to be effective versus Carolina. And the X factor in this ball game for Carolina will be their safety, Robert Lester, the undrafted rookie free agent. This is a guy that's very versatile. He can play free, he can play strong, he can play close to the line of scrimmage. And in the first meeting, he played back on the deep end and did a great job. So I'm interested to see what he can do for an encore this time around versus San Francisco. Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For San Francisco, they have to play on their side, being the Carolina Panthers side of the line of scrimmage. Quietly in the first meeting, the Panthers own both sides of the ball up front. They have to do a better job this time around in order to have success. And they have to find ways to isolate Vernon Davis. He missed half of the game when he was out with a concussion. Now he's healthy, he's 100%. This could be the biggest X factor for the 49ers. He's one guy that's tough to defend. If they can get him involved early, it bodes well for their chances to knock off the Panthers on the road. And Justice Smith versus the left side of that Panthers offensive line. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that first matchup. This is a guy that does a great job in getting penetration and bottling up not only the running game, but also keeping Cam Newton contained. If he can have an encore performance, the 49ers can play exceptional defense versus the Panthers. And for Carolina in this ball game, Cam Newton has to be decisive when he's throwing the football. He can't hold that football long this week versus San Francisco. Otherwise, it's going to result into sacks or he's going to make a bad decision. He has to be decisive and get rid of that football quickly. And the wide receivers have to play clean. By clean, I mean consistent. No drop passes, running perfect routes, doing what you have to do in the running game to spring long runs by your running backs. They have to play a great game in order for Carolina to have success. And I would also blitz early in a down the distance versus Colin Kaepernick and that offense of the San Francisco 49ers. Try to get these guys in backed up situations, because if they're in second and long, third and long situations, to me, that bodes well for that Panthers defense and their ability to get off the field. Now, here's some in-game adjustments you want to watch for in this ball game. For San Francisco, I think they may go with more of a quick game as opposed to the power game that they tried in the first meeting. It's tough to run the same type of offense versus a team that's similar to you both in talent and also what they do in the front seven. And I think the quick game could put them in position to be successful versus Carolina. And in the secondary, the inside technique being played on these Panthers wide receivers to try to force these guys to go outside where the sideline is your friend. I believe the cornerbacks can turn their backs to Cam Newton because they trust their linebackers and they do a great job of playing sideline to sideline. I think they can even keep Cam Newton contained with just their linebackers over outside and inside. So I think they can get more aggressive in covering these Panthers wide receivers. And creativity in the special teams department, try to get creative, maybe a surprise onside kick, maybe something creative in a return department to try to generate a big play in the third aspect of a football game. And for Carolina, you want to keep an eye on how they make the 49ers play in space, whether it's with formation or whether it's with personnel. If they can expand the field and widen out that defense, I believe they can have some success. And they have to find ways to utilize the backs in the passing game. That, to me, should be the biggest adjustment that should have been made from game one to right now. And in the first meeting, they went heavy cover 3. They also went a lot of 4-4 looks. I think that's how they were able to have success. Keep that deep safety on the back end. It forced Colin Kaepernick to hold the football just a little bit too long, and it was a credit to their cornerbacks out there on the flanks, doing a great job staying busy at the line of scrimmage. So I think they may go with more cover 3 and even a situational 4-4 look to try to have similar success this time around. In the 1984 divisional playoff game, the San Francisco 49ers took on the New York Giants, and this was arguably the best team in franchise history. They went 15-1 on the season en route to winning the Super Bowl, and they totally dismantled the Giants in this ball game, knocking these guys out of the playoffs by beating them 21-10. In the 2004 divisional playoff matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the St. Louis Rams, this was a great football game as the Rams fought back to tie the game at the end of regulation to send it to overtime, and they went to a double overtime until Jake Delhomme found Steve Smith on a quick slant, and he took it 69 yards to the house to win the ball game 29-23. I like the Panthers in this ball game. I like the progression the passing game has made over the last couple of weeks since week 10. I think this is a much more balanced football team that you're going to see offensively, and defensively they're still stout. That added week of rest will help this team out. I think they'll do a great job in slowing down what the 49ers want to do, running the football and putting them in a one-dimensional mode. So I like Carolina to knock off San Francisco and move on to the next round. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Panther fan forums and 49er fan forums for always showing football game plan support.